An intro to slope. Okay, so last lesson, hopefully you learned and are familiar now with the graph and plotting points. Today we're going to be learning about slope and how to find it. So first you need to know about the line right here. So what a line really is just a bunch of points that are all connected by a line. So, okay, now you know about a line. So let's get into slope. First of all, what is slope? Well, in math, slope is a number that describes the direction and steepness of a line. So it is the gradient of a line, or with and used to describe the direction and steepness of a line. So is a number used to describe steepness and direction. Okay, now over here you see I've written rise over run. So what is rise over run? It is y over x. Well, let's just refresh. We have our y-axis and our x-axis right here. So, and then with our line, we can see our line crosses both. Okay, so first to find your slope, we're just going to pick two random points right here. So let's just pick random points here, like -1, 0 right there, and then 0, 1. So these 2 points are the points we're going to pick. So let's mark that down real quick right here. And now let's go back to our equation right here, rise over run. So what is rise over run? Well, rise is upward and run is any direction horizontally. So we know here are 2 points. So how far does this point go upward? And then how far does this point go left or right? Well, now we can see that this point goes up 1, and this one goes to the left 1, and they will overlap here. And so this one goes up 1, and this one goes 1 to the left. So this is our run because it goes across horizontally in any direction, and this is our rise because it is going up or down, in this case up. So really what we're doing is connecting the 2 points. So that's our rise over run. And you are able to do this with any 2 points on the graph. So let's do this again real quick. Okay, wait a second. Let me erase this. And you can really do 2 points, and you will always get the same answer. So let's see in a second. Okay, there we go. So now let's say we pick any other points, like right here we have -4 and -3. So let's pick around here, and then we can do 0, 1 again. So let's mark those points down, -4 and -3, 0, 1, and now let's see. So our rise is up here, and our run right here is to the leftward again. So this is our run, because going from side to side, and this is our rise. And now let's see, let's count it up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So our rise is 4, and our run is 1, 2, 3, 4, also 4. So now how we calculate our slope is pretty simple. Again, using this rise over run formula. And if you remember what we had here for our slope in our first example, we had 1 and 1. We had 1 and 1. Sorry if it's a little messy. But anyway, so now we're just going to plug it into this formula, rise over run. And it's pretty simple from here. We're just going to have equal to 1 over 1 equals 1. Or, as we had in our second example, 4 over 4, that's equal to, because they cancel out, 1 over 1, which is also equal to 1. So they're both equal to 1, which means our slope is 1. That is all that slope is. Also keep in mind that right here, we could have also gone to the right for this point and down for this point. So each point can have its rise and run. And you will always still get the same slope here. Even if you have it like this, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 as our run, because it's from side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is our rise, because it's up and down. And this is also 4. And again, 4 over 4 as we have over here is equal to 1. Okay, so now you need to learn a little bit about the line and how that will affect your slope. So right here, you just need to see that this line going from quadrant 3, if you remember from last video, going from quadrant 3 up to quadrant 1. So actually, let's write that right here. Quadrant 3 to Q1. That is a positive line. This line is positive. Now, any line going from quadrant 2 to quadrant 4 is going to be negative. So this line is positive, and a line like this would be negative. And we have an example line as such right below here. It is going from our second quadrant to our fourth quadrant. It is going across. So this line is negative. And how will this impact your slope? Well, simply it will just be negative or positive in front. This one is positive because this is a positive line. So this is positive. So I'm just going to circle this. And now, to help with later writing slope in an equation or modeling it with equations such as y equals mx plus b, you want to know how to find your x and y-intercept. I went over this in my last video, but just as a review, this is any point on your x-intercept or y-intercept. So real quick, let's just find our intercepts. So that's where our line crosses. And if you cannot see right here, let's just erase this. Erase the line too. Okay, so let's just erase this real quick. Keep erasing the line, whatever. Okay, so then anywhere where, oh my god. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so anywhere, good enough, really. Sorry about this. Okay, finally we've got it here. Now, okay, sorry about that. Anywhere where the line crosses, intercepts are right here and right here. That's where it crosses. So this is our y-intercept or x-intercept. So where are those 2 points? Well, we can see this right here is going to be -1, 0, and right here is going to be 0, 1. So I'm just going to write this right here. Especially our y-intercept will be very important for learning even more in depth about slope, as we will be in our next few videos. Sorry, I switched them here. Oh no, okay. Okay, so that's rise over run. Let's just do one more example right here with using rise over run, y over x. So now let's look at our line. So we can really just pick any 2 points here. So let's just pick the intercepts to make it easy. So we see right here is -2 and -5. But we already know this is a negative line. So, okay, let's mark down these 2 points exactly. And now let's use our rise over run formula. So where's our rise here? So we can go down here, across this way, or up here, and across this way. In each way, we'll get 1 and 2 for the run right here, because it is across. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our rise. So run is 2, rise is 5. And the same way for this side, this will get us 2 for our run. And our rise will again get us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now let's put this in our equation. So rise over run, 5 over 2. And with slope, never change it into a mixed number. This is very important. So never convert to mixed number. This will be wrong. Slope cannot be in a mixed number format. But you can always simplify as we did in our first equation here. So 4 over 4, we can simplify that down to 1. But 5 over 2, we can see that can't be simplified in any way. So that is our slope. So m equals 5 over 2. Slope is always written as m. This will be very important in future equations when I will teach this in later lessons. So always written as m. This is very important. When you write slope, write it with m. Now let's just identify our x and y intercepts here to make it easy, because this will really help you if you can easily identify x and y intercepts. And luckily we made these our 2 points. So our first point for our x-intercept right here is going to be -2, 0. And then our y-intercept right here is 0, -5. Okay, now let's do just one more example here to make sure you have this down. This is a pretty complex part of math, and possibly a confusing part of math, especially when you're just learning it. But it is extremely important. Really, calculus is all about slope, just extremely much more in depth. But anyway, so now let's just do one more example. So rise over run. Let's use our 2 points. It's really nice and easy if you use your intercepts as your 2 points. Oh, there we go. So 1 and 3. So then let's just find our rise of 1. So that's our rise of 1 and our run of 3. That's our run. So let's just write this down here. So it's going to be rise is 1 and run is 3. And this cannot be simplified any farther. So this is our slope. So m equals 1/3. And now real quick, let's just identify the Y-intercepts right here. So first of all, we already picked our intercepts as our points. So we have our x-intercept is going to be 1, 2, 3. So 3, 0, 3, 0. And our y-intercept is going to be 0, -1. I understand this is a very confusing topic, guys, so do not be afraid to replay the video or pause the video anywhere here. That's why I'm doing a few extra examples. And also make sure you're very confident with the knowing all about the graph and graphing and plotting points, because this will really help you to understand slope better and learn it. So make sure you know how to do that before you're learning this, and it'll really help. Okay, so now let's just do a few special solutions here. And as we can see, here we have our two lines that you can't really find the rise over run of. Well, why not? So for this line, our line that goes from left to right, why can't we find our slope? Well, let's see. Let's just pick any two random points here. So we can pick -6, 6 and 6, and 0, 6. So now, okay, let's find our rise. But where is our rise? We don't have a rise here. Okay, well, what about our run? Well, we have our run here to connect the 2 points, but no rise. So really, if you have a rise of 0, you will have a slope of 0. So this is our 0 slope. This line has a slope of 0. This is very important to remember. But one trick that I know how to remember this well is this is going to be the positive area, and here is negative. And 0 is right in between them. It's like above ground and then below ground. And 0 is smack in the center. It is not positive nor negative. And our next special solution is undefined. So any line that goes from top to bottom, like this line, is undefined. It is just no slope, so you would write undefined here. And a lot of people often confuse them, both this line, slope of 0, and undefined, because they're both kind of the special solutions. But just always remember that if our 0 slope is not above ground or not below, it's not in the positives, it's not in the negatives, it's just flat 0, then you always know what is the 0 slope, and then you know the other one here is undefined. Okay, let's just do a quick review here of introduction to slope. So what is slope? Slope is a number used to describe steepness and direction. And now also we know our formula is y over x, which is modeled as rise over run, which is 1. Here's our line. So our y-intercept and x-intercept. So what you'll do is you'll find 2 points, and then count up the rise, count up the run. And always remember never to convert slope to a mixed number. You can simplify the fraction, but never convert it to a mixed number. Always write slope with m, because this will help. Know what is negative slope or positive slope, a negative line or a positive line. So you know that negative is from quadrant 2 to quadrant 4. And positive slope is from quadrant 1 to quadrant 3. That is positive. And then always be able to find your x and y intercepts, especially your y-intercept. This will become very important. And then also remember your special solutions. Remember 0 is not above, not below, it is just 0. And then from top to bottom, like this, any line like this is undefined. So guys, don't be afraid to rewatch this video because I understand slope is a pretty complicated topic at first.